with regards to numerology. So when you have the numbers lady on again, please, if you can, ask her about this first observation, sir.
Okay.
When you're adding up, for instance, the birth date numbers and then reducing them to one single number, it is not necessary, although you can if you want, but it turns out that it is not necessary to add in any number 9 or any numbers that add up to 9, because the answer, the final reductive number, will be the same. For instance, 9 plus 3 is 12, and the 1 and the 2 and the 12 reduce back to 3. 9 plus 5 is 14, and the 1 and the 4 reduce back to 5, which is what we just added to the 9 in the first place. And I can't be the only person who has ever noticed this, but I've never heard anyone mention this before.
What is it? Is it called anything special?
Not that I know of. Years ago, 50 years ago, I was browsing through a small book in a branch of the Atlanta Public Library. The book was entitled How to Become a Lightning Calculator, wherein it had tips and instructions on how to add up large columns of numbers. One of the chapters was entitled The Rule of Nines. George, I cannot remember now exactly what that book said, so it is either what I read in that book and or just something that I have noticed.
Interesting.
But this works every time. And observation number 2, any multiple of 9 always reduces back to 9. 2 times 9 is 18. The 1 and the 8 reduces to 9. 9 times 8, 72. And that, of course, reduces back to 9.
That's weird. You're right.
It is. And this works every time, George, without exception. So what this means is any number, no matter how large, multiplied by 9, or I would suppose 99 or 9,999, eventually the product will reduce back to 9. And I've never heard anyone mention this before, but if you want more brain exercise, then go ahead and add in the 9s. But it's a pretty neat shortcut when you're adding up, for instance, the birth date numbers. The final observation is more of a visual one. If you write down the numbers 1 through 8, so the 1 will be on the left side of the number line, and the 8 on the right side, 2 9s are 18. You have the 1 and the 8 on the outside. 3 9s will be 27. You move up from the 1 to the 2 and down from the 8 to the 7, and so forth and so on, till you get to the middle of the number line with 5 times 9, 45, 6 times 9, 54. So you start going the other way. 7 times 9, 63, and you're working your way back out towards the ends of the number line until you get to 9 times 9, which is 81.
How much time do you spend on this, Armand?
Well, since I noticed this, George, I have sort of been obsessed with it. Every time I get in my car, I look at my odometer, and it's sort of fun for me to see how it works out every time. And I have been chomping at the bit to get in to try to talk to you, but I was left on hold the last 2 times you were on.
The next time the numbers lady's on, make sure you call in as well, okay? But what was your last thing?
It would be nice to ask her. I have one quick question. That wonderful rendition of the Charlie Chaplin song "Smile" that you play,
Yep.
is that sung by Nat King Cole or who?
Yes, that one's Nat King Cole. Exactly.
I thought so. That's a wonderful rendition. And once again, happy birthday. And I hope you enjoyed this little observations about 9.
That's very good. The numbers lady will love that. That's an intriguing little number as well. We're going to take another call before the break, and then we'll have more open lines for you next hour, and a special tribute to the late Dr. Carmen Bolter, an expert on Egypt who passed away a couple months ago. Let's go to Roger in Shingletown, California. Hey, Raj, go ahead.
Yeah, hello, George.
Hey there.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, Roger.
Yeah, you and I are close to the same age. I'm not going to say.
We stopped counting a long time ago.
I know. I think you're a few months older than me now.
I'm going to end up being the Tony Bennett of radio one day.
You already are. You're an icon, my friend. One of the things I just wanted to share with you is that, I'm a psychiatric social worker, and I'm in private practice now. And I worked in the prison setting for 10 years in Northern California. And a lot of those guys in there, when we would have group, they would come in and start talking about Coast to Coast.
Oh, yeah, they all listen. It's
and that
big.
was like 10 years ago, and it's amazing the impact you have on a lot of people. And the fact that you're such a great listener, you're a wonderful listener. And Carl Rogers is a psychologist who developed rational emotive therapy, and in that he said that all you really have to do to make people healthier is to listen to them and be in a positive regard stance. And that's what you do every night. And you keep me company. I mean, you keep a ton of people company all over the world, and I just wanted to say happy birthday and thank you.
Thank you, Raj. I appreciate that. Sirhan, the convicted shooter of Robert Kennedy, is an avid listener to the program. And as you know, a parole board recommended that he be paroled. And the governor of California said no, so he's still in prison. But when I get back to Los Angeles, I'm going to try to do an interview with Sirhan. I have a feeling he will say yes. And we'll see what happens, and we'll bring that story to you as soon as we do, and we'll see what happens. Several members of the Kennedy family also believe he should have been paroled, so that's intriguing. But we're going to come back in a moment here on Coast to Coast AM and take some more phone calls with you. Open lines on Coast to Coast AM.
The Coast website is now conveniently optimized for mobile devices. If you're a Coast insider, you can listen to live and past shows right on your phone. Just visit coasttocoastam.com on your iPhone or Android browser.
Woman tells the true story of Georgia Durrani, all-American girl, world-famous model, and getaway driver for the mob. Wheel Woman takes you on a thrilling ride through the unlikely life of one beautiful, smart, fascinating woman.
The rules were simple. Don't talk to anyone. Don't ask questions. Always park a block away. And make sure you're not being followed.
Listen to Wheel Woman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Brought to you by DuckDuckGo. Search, browse, and email privately, all for free with the DuckDuckGo app.
Californians have worked really hard to beat COVID-19 by doing the things we know work best, like getting vaccinated and boosted, testing before and after travel, staying home when feeling sick, and wearing a mask when it can protect us and others. Let's continue to do our part to keep each other safer from COVID-19. When we work together, there's nothing we can't overcome. Learn more at covid19.ca.gov. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
So you're a West Coast elitist snob and an egotistical schmuck. Yeah. All wrapped up in one pretty much delightful Diet Coke swilling, ham and cheese ball eating, salary bragging. Actually, I don't brag about my salary. Well, you make it clear, though. You make it clear.
Bill Hammer. Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI. Look, I'm not equating it to the mafia, but if you owe the mafia money, the one thing they want you to do is stay in touch with them. And it's the same thing with jury duty. As long as you're in touch with them and you need a little break here and there, and you call in and you register and all that stuff, they're cool with you. But the moment you try to avoid jury duty by not responding and all that stuff, that's when they get sick. The Tim Conway Jr. Show, weekdays at 6 on KFI. See, it's politics. That's all it is. That's all we do is politics. There's no distinction. choose some hyperbole, but how much? Bill Handle. Not much. Mornings from 6 to 10 on KFI. Perfect for achy, indecisive minds. KFI's cooling info gel quickly relieves ignorance and leaves a minty fresh scent.
KFI.
And KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County. Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Double murder. I'm Andrew Caravella from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. A judge in Orange County has given a man 2 life sentences plus 50 years for a double murder in Newport Beach, sparked by a mistaken fit of jealousy. The mother of the man killed says Jamone Buggs shattered her life for no reason.
Finding my son lifeless on 4/21/2019 with a bullet hole. From being a healthy woman, then put on medication trying to cope with my loss.
Buggs apologized to the families and says the woman killed was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Buggs mistakenly believes the man was dating his ex-girlfriend. Protesters have shouted down L.A. County Sheriff Villanueva during a campaign event on Olivera Street near Union Station.
Yes, the activists are upset that the homeless have not been able to remain there, destroying the businesses. So they lost their minds.
Sheriff Villanueva was there with elected officials who support his efforts to reduce crime and homelessness, but the event was shut down over the shouts and chants. He tells KFI's John and Ken show that the protesters then turned their focus on LA City Councilman Kevin De Leon, who was also at Olivera Street.
They accosted him and they got physical.
Video shows De Leon pushed one protester and grabbed another one's phone. LA County has held its first resource fair for veterans since the start of the pandemic.
The event has connected vets with resources, including help transitioning into the job market and mental health services. Army veteran Adam Moore says he got out of the military in 2010. He says he's hoping to use the resource fair to find a work environment where there will be other veterans.
That's one of my main issues right now, is even after this many years, is just the people I'm around have no idea what I've been through or what I've anything. They just don't understand.
County officials say the event was focused on serving veterans home from Afghanistan. In LA, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
Stocks have closed down on Wall Street despite the better-than-expected jobs report, with tech companies leading the losses. The concern is a slowdown in hiring. Elon Musk announced this week that Tesla would be cutting its workforce by 10%. Investopedia's Caleb Silver says that raises concerns of a recession.
Even Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase, the second biggest bank on the planet, is saying there could be an economic hurricane because of inflation and because of rising interest rates.
The Fed is expected to again raise rates at its June and July meetings. KFI weather Saturday and Sunday will see highs in the mid-70s to around 80 at the beaches, Metro LAOC and the valleys, 80s for the IE, lows in the 50s to around 60. Right now, Calabasas 62, Bellflower 61, Yuba Linda 62, and in Ontario 63 degrees. We lead local from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. I'm Andrew Caravella.
Traffic San Bernardino on the westbound side of the 210 at State Street has all lanes stopped. It's got you jammed back to the 215. We also have a pretty serious problem in West Covina on the eastbound side of the 10 at Barranca. This crash has only the carpool lane open. It's saying at least 2 hours here. That's got you jammed back to about Azusa Avenue. Westbound side of the 10 freeway through West Covina between Vincent and Pacific. It's all lanes closed by Caltrans. That's until around 5 o'clock in the morning. Watch for delays there coming away from Azusa Avenue as well. KFI in the Sky helps get you there faster. I'm Robert Zabucky.
You are the proud possessor of a secret weapon, maybe even several. Your major appliances, washers, dryers, dishwashers. When you use your appliances outside the peak hours of 4 to 9 p.m., you're choosing times when renewable energy is plentiful. Now that's using your powers for good. SCE time of use rates, an easy way to make a change for the better. Visit SCE.com/TOU rates for more information.
As the experts in transmissions for over 50 years, there's nothing at AMCO we haven't heard.
So when I hit the gas, it's just a belt.
And nothing we can't fix.
It's going. What's that?
From transmissions to brakes and everything in between. No credit? Finance your repair at AMCO. Exclusions apply, may not be combined with any other offer. Limited time offer at participating centers only. People who know go to AMCO. AA MCO.
Junk sleep got you down? The sleep experts at Mattress Firm can help. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $500 off during the best Memorial Day sale ever. Plus, get a free adjustable base with qualifying purchase.
There's really no place more exciting to live than Southern California. Whether you're looking for a day at the beach, a hike in the mountains, or my favorite, a trip out to the desert, you're always a quick drive away from an adventure. Wherever you choose to go, make the journey as memorable as the destination in one of 5 SUVs from Volkswagen. Choose from the versatile Tiguan SUV with spacious cargo room, the compact Taos SUV with VW digital cockpit, the all-electric ID4 SUV with intuitive voice control, or the family-friendly Atlas and the stylish Atlas Cross 4 SUVs, recently ranked number 1 and 2 for the lowest cost of maintenance among midsize SUVs. Get started on your next adventure and head to your local Southern California Volkswagen dealer today to get behind the wheel of one of these 5 inspiring SUVs.
Cost of maintenance claim based on the final level analysis of 2022 midsize SUVs performed by Concentric LLC on February 2nd, 2022. Comparison versus Honda Passport and Pilot, Toyota Highlander and 4Runner, in Subaru Ascent and Outback. Assumes 5 years, 75,000 miles of operation. Does not include repair costs.
Hi, it's Amy King. Summer weather is heating up. The kids are out of school and you're on the move. Whatever your destination is, when you have the free iHeartRadio app, you can bring KFI and thousands of other stations just like this one with you, anytime, anywhere, on any device. That's exactly why we had it made. Along with playlists to fit every mood and activities to match your summer vibe. Or binge a podcast like Unsolved with Steve Gregory, from true crime to comedy, self-help to sports, and everything in between. Only on the free iHeartRadio app. Discover music, radio, and podcasts you'll love.
American Vision Windows, SoCal's choice for energy-efficient windows and doors. AmericanVisionWindows.com.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
George Norrie, call the wildcard line at 818-501-4109. The first-time caller line is 818-501-4721. To talk toll-free from east of the Rockies, call 800-825-5033. From west of the Rockies toll-free, call 800-618-8255. To reach George via Skype, use Skype name George 97313. Send George a text message anytime at 818-298-6521. This is Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie.
Open lines here on Coast to Coast, and we'll jive right into it when we come back in just a moment. Let's talk about Dr. Squatch changing the way you shower up, providing high-performing natural products that just smell super amazing and will have you feeling your best and refreshed. Dr. Squatch is very transparent on their ingredients, too, by the way, and offering the finest ingredients Mother Nature has to offer. All the products are at least 98% natural in origin, and you can recognize and pronounce everything you see on the package, unlike some of these harsh chemicals found in some of these other body washes, hair care, and deodorants. There are even super convenient subscription plans available with extra savings, free shipping to you. You never run out. When you need it the most, you just sign up, choose the goods and scents you want, and it shows right up at your door at the time that you want. Dr. Squatch has a 100% satisfaction guarantee as well, and if you use Dr. Squatch and say, you know what, I'm not happy with it, which a lot of people don't, you get your money back, no questions asked. Shop at drsquatch.com, where new customers receive 20% off $20 or more. Enter promo code COAST. That's drsquatch.com, promo code COAST. I'll spell it for you, DRSQUATCH.com, promo code COAST.
What if you could build a six-figure retirement income with almost half the money saved? You heard that right. Get a discount on your retirement, creating a six-figure income with 40% less than traditional 401ks and mutual funds. Hi, I'm Brett Kitchen, best-selling author and star in a new Hollywood documentary called The Baby Boomer Dilemma. In this film, economists and Nobel Prize-winning PhDs from Wharton, MIT, and Stanford share a strange concept I call the retirement discount. It gives you more retirement income with the same dollars saved, and your money is never at risk if the market crashes. That's right. If the market crashes 30%, you lose nothing. Even people who are on track have shifted money to this new strategy because it increases their retirement income or can allow them to stop working years sooner. So if you're over 50 and want a bigger, better retirement with less money, call to get a free copy of this brand new movie, The Baby Boomer Dilemma, at 1-800-506-2020. This is a $30 value, but when you call today, you'll get it completely free, plus 2 hours of bonus behind-the-scenes footage. I'll even cover shipping and handling, no credit card required. So don't delay, call right now, 1-800-506-2020. That's 1-800-506-2020, 1-800-506-2020.
And welcome back to Coast, George Dory with you. Let's go right back to the phone calls. Kevin's with us in Jacksonville, Florida, and a first-time caller. Kev, welcome to the show.
How you doing, George? Happy birthday.
Great. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just had sorry, I just had a few questions. I like your always trusted your opinion on things, and when I was younger, I had some awkward dreams, spiritual dreams, you could say. And they were, one was of, it was like, towards the west, there was a shadow figure, almost like a dragon that rose up real high, almost religious type dragon. And then years later, I had another one where I was taken into, like, in a dream, I was taken into a chamber which had 3 holes. And the holes kind of glowed, and they were about the size of a pencil. But when you walked up to them, you were taken straight into them. And at this point, I was handed a bag of nails and a hammer with endless rocks for miles. And the rocks you would take and you would hammer them. That was basically your destiny. And I was told to change my path at that point when I was younger. I was about 17 at that time. Then I had the final dream was actually God coming down, or Jesus. And when he came down through the clouds, through almost like a tunnel that was colored, like almost like rainbow type colors.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a real kind of those dreams happen periodically, a couple of years apart. I didn't want to eat up too much of your time, so I kind of shortened them up a little bit for you. But I always trusted your opinion. I started listening to you years ago. Actually, it was kind of funny. I was coming from coast to coast. So I was coming from the West Coast to here from California. I was doing a side job, and we were coming back, and it gets kind of boring driving that far. And so I was turning on the radio, and that's when I got turned on to you.
And you're still having the same kind of dreams all these years later?
No, the dreams have subsided. The only weird dreams I have now are more of the out-of-body experiences, where you kind of get up, and I don't ever see my body, but what happens is I'll get up, and I look back, and I see a blur. And then I go and I try to leave the room, and I'm conscious that I'm dreaming. And I'm more of a realist, so I kind of chop it up to it just being my mind kind of, my conscious playing, like tricks on me while I'm dreaming, but I'm aware that I'm asleep. And then I'll walk through the wall, but I always come back through the other wall. I can never usually go out.
Interesting. The Jesus dream is fascinating. Are you very spiritual?
Not particularly. I have gotten recently, in the past 3 months, just gotten spiritual after quitting some bad habits. I really connected with God. But before, I was never really spiritual at all. And what struck me the most was when I saw Jesus go more into the length of the dream. He had came down, and he came down more from the south direction because the charcoal-type dragon figure came from the west. And when he came down, he had kind of this disappointed look upon his face. And when he came down, it was like a rainbow, but it was in circles, like a tunnel.
Yeah, we had the late Rosemary Ellen Guiley still with us. God rest her soul. She'd be able to give you great interpretations of all of those. The first one with the rocks and the hammer sounds like there's just some things that are very difficult in your life at that age that you needed to fix and solve, and maybe you did eventually. But the Jesus one is kind of fascinating and pretty enlightening too. Thanks for the call, Kev. Appreciate it. Let's go next to our buddy Barry in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Hello, Barry.
Boy, oh boy, I got to say happy birthday, of course. Everybody has already, so I won't repeat them. But George, I tell you what, the show is just terrific, as you know. And Corey, oh, God bless him, that guy, I love him to death, and Mike and Wayne and all you guys. I feel like I'm a star.
You are.
I must be on the radio.
You're on the radio going around the world as we speak.
And the truth now, and as a matter of fact, we need to straighten something out. Rock Hill, with the S on the end, is the name of my town. And some people call it Rock Hill.
I call it Rock Hill. Everything I see doesn't have the S on it. Oh, you're trying to trick me. It is Rock Hill. There is no S.
That's right. There is no S. And for everybody out there in coast to coast land, from now on, when you say Rock Hill, South Carolina, think about me.
Always.